You will never be the best at anything that you do. It's the truth. There will always be someone, or there may possibly be someone that is completely better than you. I am not the most knowledgeable in anything that I have to offer, yet God has graced me to see the figures that I have seen, and I'm absolutely not the best. There are some courses I have taught in the past that has been a very effective, very profound, very good, that before I came on, I was like, I was, okay, Holy Spirit, come take control. Holy Spirit, activate. I was doing all of that. God, place your words upon my mouth. And then when I start teaching, it's like I had all this knowledge and wisdom locked away somewhere on the inside. You have to be willing to. This is something I've learned along the way, and I've been taught by wealthy people. If you are not willing to embarrass yourself, you'll never make it. You have to be willing to be embarrassed. You have to be willing for people to tell you no. You have to be willing for certain doors to be closed in front of you. You have to be willing to have 2 subscribers for a year. You have to be willing for no one to purchase your book at first. You have to be willing to fail before you succeed. My husband should be the one teaching this, because he's the one that told me, if you are going to do anything at all, hurry up and fail. And I asked him, why are you saying this? Because the sooner you fail is the sooner you can learn, and the sooner you can move on. So there's nothing that you will do that you may not fail. You may be perfect, but it's a possibility that at some point in time you may fail or you may make a mistake. But this tells you that you have attempted to do something. You know, there are some people that will mock you and jeer you that you have failed, Chanel. But even though you have failed, I'll give you a perfect example. The very first church I pastored, I served in that church for 3 years. Almost, I think 3 years. It was the wrong people, the wrong location. Everything about it was completely wrong. My spiritual fathers came in and they said to me, God go with you in this region. God go with you with these people. I grew at church all the way up to 70 people in the congregation. And we had 70 people on a Friday, Sunday. We had maybe 150 whenever we had conference, etc. And I had all the wrong people, the wrong location. But nevertheless, I built a beautiful sanctuary. If you have ever been to Jamaica, you know Jamaica is in the tropics. It's extremely hot here. So if you don't have an air conditioned unit, you're going to be sweating bullocks. The Lord blessed us. We bought the biggest AC unit. So when you came to church, we started the church and people would come and they would complain, I'm hot. It's too hot. My sinus is acting up. My asthma is acting up. So the Holy Spirit blessed us and we inserted ACs. Then they started to complain, it's too cold. I'm in America. I can't manage the cold. The church was so beautiful, and you know, it got to a point where the pandemic came. It was expensive at first. Our overhead cost was over $100,000. It was very expensive. We had to close down, plus the people fought against us so bad. And there was a colleague that I had that served in a denominational church, a Church of God. That institution is a church where they train pastors, then they build the church and they put pastors in. So what that church does, and I'm going to teach you a very valuable lesson. What they do is they rotate pastors in that church organization every 5 years. So if they take a pastor and send him to a certain region, the church would already have, say, 50 to 100 or whatever congregation. Everything would already be in place. They just send the pastor there. Now, this colleague was placed at a church where she had the church built. She had a lot of members. She had an office. She had everything. And she said to me, not exactly what she said, but she said something that was very mean, that made me feel very depressed and low in spirit at that point in time. When I got in the car, my husband said to me, if she were not preaching in that organization, she would not be a pastor. And I said, what do you mean? She's preaching. She has a big church. My church closed. I failed. I'm not good enough. And he said to me, if she got up, Deborah, and she were to find a building, get the people to come, build, put in the chairs and everything inside, the equipments, etc., if she were to do everything from scratch, she would not have made it. He said she was put into something that has already pre-built, already made for her, but you started from scratch. How many people have the grace to start from scratch? Huh? Lakela, welcome to the video chat. How many persons have the grace to start from scratch? And so then this is why we fail, and we learn from what we fail. Failing is what helps